I'm Michelle. I'm one of the steering committee members for the ACHD Roundtable. And I'm here with Sean today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the project and how things are going so far. So Sean, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've learned so far?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me joining this was actually going through all the steps that go along with a research project. I mean, I had a little bit of experience just learning it a little bit through school, but I mean, it's amazing how many steps and what's all involved. Getting to, getting a project started from the ground up and what all it entails and the people and the man hours. So I think that's been the thing that's surprised me most about the research project.
I've learned that it's like important how patients can actually contribute to the research. So I really like that aspect of it so far.
Yeah, me too. It's I think in this what we're doing it for in adult congenital, since there's so many of us now, that it's crucial that we get as many patient-centered research projects out there, just so we can voice our opinions, and since we're the ones living the life. I think that says a lot about the projects whenever you have patients actively involved in it who are going through whatever it is we're researching.
Mhm. Do you feel like this project has changed the way that you view your CHD since participating?
I don't think it changes the way I view my CHD, um, but it is nice as a provider of adult congenitals, but also pediatrics. It's nice to see so many patients coming forward to be a active member of, I guess, of this research project that's going to benefit all of us, in the future generations to come. Since so many of us are living into adulthood and living essentially normal lives, and I think it's important that we show the younger kids, maybe adolescents, that they can speak up and be a part of research that will affect their care, and affect their life in the future.
Yeah, I agree. And I would say, I don't think that it's necessarily changed the way I view my CHD, but it has kind of opened me up to see how other people are living with their particular defects and how it's impacted their lives and kind of how they're coping with theirs and just the decisions they make and as far as healthcare and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see so many different, um, I guess, viewpoints from living with congenital heart disease and being an adult with congenital heart disease. Some of us may have the same diagnosis, but we've had totally different paths with, different surgeries, multiple surgeries, medicines, other things that come along with having congenital heart disease. So I think that is a huge benefit of having us involved in this, um, and being able to meet others who have gone through similar things that we may not know in a normal everyday day-to-day life.
Mhm.
Some people may not know anybody with congenital heart disease, um, in their everyday life, but you know, this project allows us to meet and work as a group to better our future.
Yeah, because I know growing up, I never met anyone else with CHD. So being a part of this project has been really beneficial and eye-opening to see how many other people there are out there and just getting to know each person has been really, really good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of I knew a few people growing up with heart disease, congenital heart disease, but nobody I really hung out with or anything like that. But I have been around a lot of them with being a nurse in this field since 2011 or 2012. So I've definitely met a lot and always around it. Just as a provider, so it's nice to see so many of us coming forth, and kind of with the shared goal of to better each other's care in the future.
And speaking of that, do you believe research like this is important? Or why do you believe research like this is important?
Well, I think research is Yeah, I mean, it's definitely important. It's a necessity, and not only adult congenital, but basically any medical process or medical disease um, that they have out there. A lot of us wouldn't be here if it weren't for past research. So I think basically everybody has benefited from past research. So it's only fitting that we are now living into adulthood because of that research. So now we're getting involved in future research projects to continue that
Mhm.
involvement of congenital heart disease patients living into adulthood, living a normal life. So I think it's obviously important and it's needed in every aspect
Yeah. And
of
I think
medicine and beyond.
I agree. And I think that the patient-centered research is really important because since they're developing these new technologies and devices that will ultimately impact our lives and our future, I think it's really important for us to be able to give that feedback on how that does actually impact our everyday life and what's working, what's not, and also to for us to be able to express what's important to us, what topics in research are important to us, and what we want to learn more about, I think is really valuable as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who better to be involved in these research projects than the people who are going through and living it day to day.
Mhm.
We have all have firsthand knowledge about what prior research has showed, and some of us have benefited, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way we want it to. So I think it's important to keep pushing research to better everybody's care. It helps not only us as patients, but also it helps the healthcare system to better treat us.
Mhm.
So it's a benefit for both sides of it.
Where do you think the future of CHD research is going?
Hopefully, being involved in this, I'm sure there's other research going on for adult congenital right now. But I think as we continue to survive into adulthood, that research into adult congenital disease and care is only going to grow in upcoming years. Um, and that's it's again, like I said, necessary for us to continue on the way we've done and living to adulthood because of research. So um, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of research studies going on out there
Mhm.
for adult congenital population, which I think is very important. So I think it's a positive change that more things are being done to help better the care for us, since there's so many of us now.
Yeah, I agree. And I would like to see that future research for CHD have like more of these patient-centered projects going on and possibly even do one for each particular defect. That way you can focus on, all the things that affect, you know, tetralogy of Fallot patients or pulmonary hypertension patients or single ventricle, and they can decide on topics that are important to them and follow that research the same way that we're doing here for general CHD.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we all. It's always nice meeting other adult congenital heart disease survivors, but it's even more, I guess, exciting whenever you meet somebody who has the same diagnosis as you. Um, that you can talk about kind of disease specific, what you've been through or what you're going through currently.
Mhm.
Um, but I agree, having research topics focused on certain either defects or issues that are caused by certain defects is would definitely be beneficial. Um, and having those patients involved is crucial.
Yeah. Yeah. How has this project given you hope for the future of CHD care compared to your previous experiences?
I mean, I think it gives me hope that the care that we've all received to get us where we're at now is only going to get better. And I
Mhm.
think all this ongoing research is going to help maybe and hopefully even prevent some of the things that we now know are caused by growing up with congenital heart disease. We may better be able to help prevent it or treat it earlier on than what we're currently doing now with some things that are specific to congenital heart disease or the physiology or the previous surgeries that we've had. But yeah, so I think it's really important.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what we're doing now is really good because we're laying the foundation for the future generations so that hopefully the research that we do now will help them have, you know, better lives and better opportunities, and that they can also get involved and continue with the research that we're doing.
Yeah, and I think us being in this research project will give the younger generation, like maybe the adolescents or teenagers and all that, seeing us being in firsthand involved in the research projects may kind of spark something in them to be able to be involved in future research projects as well. So I think it'll just get more people involved, more patients involved in the actual studies and research, which is it's definitely needed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, I think that this is a really important project, and I'm really looking forward to next year when we can actually focus on our topic and start doing the actual research that we've been training for all year long.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing how much goes into it.
Mhm. Great.
It's a
Well, thank you
process.
for taking the time to discuss the project with me. It was good talking to you.
Of course, you too.